What are you saying?
I'm so glad that is back, bro.
It's Eric Collins, bro. It's like snapping a guy that can barely walk, bro. I think he missed it just because he felt bad for Ben Simmons.
This guy's biased as
No. Pumping up his fantasy team, so everyone else trades with him.
Listen. His dad is arguably one of, let's say, top 5 highest IQ players ever.
Yep.
And this guy did not get any of that.
Power of friendship is dead, flags.
No,
Traded the power of friendship.
Oh, Maron, what are you doing? Hey, like, comment, subscribe, share, do everything you gotta do, man. It goes a long way, trust me. You like my shirt? Get straight into the episode.
Hey everybody, my name's Hectic Fred. We got Flaxy, we got Winston.
We're back, baby.
And this is nothing but net. Why? Because we hit nothing but net, except for Flaxy doesn't. Yeah. But
he hits the net, but it misses. It just goes under the rim.
Yeah, not like Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah,
you know, when he airballs, he at least touches net, unlike Kyle Kuzma. But boys, preseason basketball.
Oh yeah,
I've actually been enjoying it. I usually don't like the preseason, and whenever I see a result that I don't like from a player or team, I'm just like, it's only preseason, but when I see a good performance, I'm like, I told yous.
Yeah.
The Charlotte Hornets,
I
told yous.
Knicks Hornets open preseason.
Klay Thompson, 0 of 9. Nah, it's preseason. Kyle Kuzma airballs. I definitely didn't trade for him in fantasy. So it's just preseason for Kyle Kuzma. But I'm enjoying it. You guys enjoying it?
Bro, as you said, it's just preseason, but for the players that are doing well, bro, it's going to be our year. Like, how the Knicks going?
Bro, 3-0 in preseason. Give us the championship trophy.
It's just preseason.
It's good because, like, obviously you miss basketball. It gets to the point where you just want anything back, and then preseason, like the stars are playing not regular minutes, but they're playing enough where you can sit down and you can enjoy Jalen Brunson cooking the. For me, as a Knicks fan, watching Kat and Jalen Brunson, start to build that chemistry a little bit. You're watching. There was a play where Jalen Brunson's passed it. It hits Kat's foot, and it's like, towards the end of the season, they'll be pulling that play off, and you can look back and see where it all started. So, it's good. Especially watching the Knicks win 3 games so far.
That's good.
It's good. I'm enjoying it.
It
the
is.
The hopes are building.
I'm enjoying it as a neutral. I like the Knicks, so I'm always happy for them to be doing well, and let's see if this carries on. I think it will, but I think it will.
Yeah, I think that the defense of the Knicks has been nuts. Obviously, it's just preseason, but the defense, just obviously OG, Bridges, Cat now. It's just, it's good. And even the bench unit's been going all right as well, which is good to see because it looks weak.
Speaking of bench unit, there's a player that was on the bench for a lot of his Knicks tenure that did not seem to be happy with everything that's going on, and he was playing for the Timberwolves, Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
When he got started minutes last year and got an opportunity, he was pretty good, but he seems to have some sort of animosity with Coach Tibbs and Rick Brunson. So,
well, if you wind it back a little bit, obviously we haven't recorded for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So obviously the biggest trade in NBA history happened in the 2 weeks off. The Knicks.
A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
Not the biggest in NBA history.
Biggest ever.
Maybe in Knicks history, bro.
We recorded the podcast, and then after we recorded it, every news article came through, trades, retirements.
Yeah.
We'll get through it. But
yeah, obviously, I just want to rewind and talk. I want to get your takes on the trade because as a Knicks fan, I feel like now watching a couple of preseason games, I'm feeling better about it. Obviously, it was Randall and Devo. They've gone to Minnesota. We got Cat. Obviously, there was some other moving parts. But I was very sad to see Devo leave because I thought he was so good for us last season. Obviously, we had the power of friendship on the Knicks. And when we recorded this podcast, I was talking about the power of friendship, and our friendship is dead.
Didn't even play one game.
Didn't even get one game. Didn't get just 2 seconds together. But yeah, what did you guys think of the trade? Who won it?
I think, look, from the reason why the Timberwolves traded away these Cat was just a salary thing. He's making a lot of money, and they would and when you have a player like Naz Reid, I can understand why you don't see the value. Would you rather pay Naz Reid $15 million to do the same job, or would you rather $51 million to Cat?
Yeah,
it just doesn't look like he wasn't producing at the level he was before Rudy got there.
Yeah,
there was that they just weren't meshing well. But they meshed well enough to go to a Western Conference Finals, and I'm like, you should have run it back. But Julius is a good NBA player, and I think if he can sort out his shooting woes, because he did have a season.
He's an all-star. People forget he is a very good player. He's an all-star, but he's injured a lot, and he just gets a lot of hate, especially in New York.
No, he never deserved the hate in New York. He was an all-star in 3 of the 5 seasons he played there.
Yep.
He was like 26, was like 26, 10 and 6 for a
Yeah,
season. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And he's the one that started getting them back to the playoffs
Exactly.
in a terrible roster.
Exactly.
Like Nerlens Noel starting 5. You know, like Nerlens Noel was hectic that year. Their defense was mad, but it's
We
like
had Frank
Julius
Ntilikina-
Randle was that
Ntilikina.
guy for them for multiple seasons. Yeah, he didn't do too well in the playoffs because the roster wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But he was shooting well a couple of those years, and I think if he can bring that jump shot back, all right, because he was shooting at like 31% last year. If you can bring that up to 35%, and it's gonna like it looked bad at first, and then it looked good, and then it looked bad, and now I'm back on the sort of fence where I can see this working for the Wolves. It's just the issue is spacing, because Julius loves to drive, Ant loves to drive, and they have Rudy there already clogging up the paint. So someone has to change, and I think Julius is probably going to be the one that changes. But what he does bring you is toughness, grit. I don't think Cat brings you toughness and grit. And this Timberwolves team,
After all that.
they call him Big Purr. That's his nickname, Big Purr, mate.
He's a cat, bro.
The thing that DiVincenzo and Julius are going to bring you is grit, toughness, determination, hustle. Like someone that you don't want to mess with. When Kobe Bryant is saying you don't want to like Julius Randle's a rookie.
Yeah.
Was beefing with Kevin Garnett, bro. You know what I mean? Like he's got a few screws loose, and I think that's perfect for the identity of the rest of the Timberwolves team.
Yeah.
I think everyone but Cat and Rudy had that crazy mentality, and Cat is making way for Julius, for Dante DiVincenzo, and I think it all just depends on how they can make it all fit. If they can make it all fit, and I think they can. I think they're going to be looking at this trade as a win-win.
Yeah.
There's no real clear winner. If Julius fits in, starts shooting a little bit better, probably doesn't you know what I mean? Like Julius will have to probably take a step back the same way Cat sort of had to and change his role.
Yeah.
You got to adapt to make this team work. And I think Julius is not a selfish player, and I think he will adapt. And Dante DiVincenzo, I think, is a great pickup. He plays defense. He's a good shooter. And now, you know, after apparently, for hearing that conversation with Tibbs, it's like they're saying he can't finish around the rim.
Yeah.
I reckon he's going to be working on that a lot because he looks like he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's going to be a valuable contributor to them.
That's what hurt me the most. I love Dante. I thought he was very underrated last season. He came up with some huge moments in the playoffs as well, which is when it matters. So yeah, that's the part of the trade that hurt me the most. And I'm not just trying to say I wanted Randall to leave. I feel like Randall for Cat, that makes sense. I'm happy to get Cat and lose Randall. Yeah, it's the Devo bit that cut me. But I'm feeling pretty good about it though.
I was going to say, I feel like you guys slightly lost the trade because you guys gave up a pick as well in that trade. So I feel like obviously Cat for Randall is so much in terms of player value is better for the Knicks, but in terms of losing Dante and now he's got a chip on his shoulder, I feel like that just makes Minnesota just slightly a bit better.
But here's the thing. The Knicks needed a center more than any other team, especially one that we're going to talk about a little bit later, that also need a center. But Knicks desperately needed a center because Mitch Robinson is on the roster, but won't be playing till at least January.
Yeah.
And that's been optimistic. And when it comes to injury timelines and optimism when it comes to Mitch Robinson, it's not smart to be optimistic. I don't think this bloke's going to play till 55 games into the season.
And I think the fact
he'll be a backup now.
The fact they did trade shows they don't think Mitchell Robinson's coming back anytime soon.
Yeah.
Because if he's coming back early, you're not doing that trade, or you're not trading as much. You're not that keen to do it. So I think definitely I said it here on the podcast 2 weeks ago. We need a center, a backup center. Obviously, it's not necessarily a backup center, but
I think he will get traded anyway.
Trade,
I think Mitch will get traded.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah,
I think there will be a few teams looking to get him. If you can get someone like Clint Capella, even though it's they're probably going to expect some level of assets for him, but I think they just want a reason to just get him off the roster so that they can promote Onyeka.
And I feel like Knicks are in the position where if you are trading a Robinson for Capella, it's worth getting rid of your assets because you're going all in on a championship run, and eventually that's what you have to do. You have to make some sacrifices. You have to take a risk if you want to.
Well, you lost all your picks now. That's the thing.
I know. Yeah,
and I think that's the problem with giving up 5 first round. Mikhail was that player you gave up your future.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
pretty much. But the thing, getting Caddy is. You needed a center that can play big minutes, grab rebounds, because your rebounding as a team sucks to the point where you need Josh Hart.
I was meant to say.
You need Josh Hart to be your lead rebounder, pretty much.
Literally.
So now you get a rebounder and you get an elite scorer at all three levels, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe not mid-range, but around the rim and around the rim and from three, he's an elite shooter, especially for a big man.
Yeah.
And you get a guy that can play big minutes. He's played under Tibbs before, and with all of and although he has his defensive problems, the thing with Tom Thibodeau is he's a super smart defensive coach, and you have the best defensive roster in the league, which means he can make Cat's job so much simpler so that he can focus on doing only a few things, but doing them really well, which is grabbing rebounds and protecting the rim. And his life is going to be so much easier for him with that defensive system they're going to have, in my opinion. And I think he's going to actually be an average to positive defender for the Knicks this year, because it's easier to play defense when you have elite wing defenders everywhere.
100%.
And he's just going to make you guys so much harder to guard, and it's going to make you guys so much harder to score on, because you'll consistently have a center. Like he has had some injury woes in the past, but I think he'll be able to have a solid load on defense and offense and minutes load. And we know Tibbs loves to do that.
Yeah.
And if he stays healthy, then you won't ever have a period where you have no center like Dallas had early in the year, like other teams have had early in the year, like last season, and like that, always having a stable lineup is always beneficial in the regular season and in the playoffs. So I think it's going to be a win-win trade at worst for the Knicks.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance, there's a decent chance that it doesn't work out in Minnesota, but it works out for the Knicks. So I think the Knicks didn't give up too much for Cat.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you learn to live with it. Like if this trade bombs, you're not going to be upset about it. Like I think if you got, if right now you got sent that offer, you're taking it 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, you can understand why they did it. Even if it does flop, in hindsight, you go, well, it made sense. At the time, it made sense. I can understand why they did it. And I feel like Cat fits in. He just joins the Knicks team of, if they stay healthy, they can go on a run.
Do you think he then joins the power of friendship? Do you think at the end of the year he's going to be the one going, woo?
The power of friendship is dead, Flex.
They
traded the power of friendship.
It's still very much alive. You have 3 Villanova members on the same team.
100%. And we saw that connection in the preseason.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be good vibes around there.
And obviously, when something like this happens, obviously it's going to take a little bit of time for them to gel and get into rhythm. But I think once that does happen, they're looking like that Brunson and Cat connection. Well, that's looking scary already. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. I think it puts us in a good spot. It's just about staying healthy.
Well, there's one center. Let's talk about another center.
Herb Jones. Now, I'm telling you now, this guy's not playing center. I don't think Zion wants to be listed as a center. All right? For whatever reason, he doesn't want to be listed as a center, but I feel like they're going to be playing Zion there. But Herb's going to be listed at center. So it's going to be funny. They have Yves Missy. I don't know why you draft him and not throw him in there. Like, you must... If I'm him, I'm going to be really pissed because, they're playing Herb Jones at center over me, and I'm an actual center, and you drafted me, and I want to go. They also have this other European guy who looks... I reckon he could be a really good contributor. From what I've seen in him, the G League as well was really good. He's just got a really long name, and I forgot it. But low-key think he can... I think his name's Matkovic, something like that. I think he could be a valuable contributor, but I definitely think they're going to be on the market for a center. Like Clint Capella, there is a few centers on the market, I think, that will become available once we get some play during the season.
I think Clint Capella's about to make a bag somewhere.
Yeah.
He's looking good.
Yeah, and I'm very excited because Okongwu is just sitting on my fantasy.
Yeah, you want him to
I wanted to get traded.
But I sat on him for half of last year and he didn't get traded. Like, everyone's expecting Clint to get traded, but I don't think Clint has a lot of value.
No.
When your former team would have rather PJ Tucker play center than you, it doesn't really help your value. And I just feel like Hawks are just looking to push him out the door, but everyone thought he'd get traded last year. Yeah. Like D'Angelo Russell too. So I'm interested to see what happens. If I'm like the Pelicans, I'm looking at guys that are on the fringes that can contribute. For some reason, the Indiana Pacers have so many big men that can contribute. I think if a team goes for Isaiah Jackson, at least if he plays 20 minutes a night, he's giving you great production. There's the Nets have a few bigs as well that like Day'Ron Sharpe that I think are just anyone would really want to go for him. If I was the Pelicans, I would have gotten someone like Andre Drummond. Like, you could have signed him for peanuts, bro, and you didn't. And you lose Jonas like Valanciunas in the process. I just don't understand how they got into this position. I just have a feeling Brandon Ingram is going to be traded for a big man and probably another player as well. There's a lot of shouts right now that he's going to get moved to the Kings, so I'd like to see what happens there. But I don't think Brandon Ingram will be on this roster. And I think he's going to get moved for a center because it just makes the most sense. Yeah. Then you promote Trey Murphy. Yeah. You go Trey Murphy, brother. Yeah, you have the keys, my friend.
I feel like for me, I feel like they're going to maybe like just trial Herb Jones in the position. I don't think it's going to work too well because small ball isn't when there's 7'5" guys running around. And for me, I feel like what if they're trying to develop Missy? Because Missy, like, how tall is Missy? He's big,
like 6'10", I think.
6'10". If they develop him into, maybe he's not where he needs to be yet in terms of, player value, but for the Pelicans. But when he's fully developed, they'll move Missy into the position, and I think they'll be doing well there. But as you said, they'll probably move him into they'll probably wait and then get him under someone else. And who do you reckon? Who would they trade for? Would it be more Capella wise, or would they go for, as you said, the Indiana Pacers? Someone
like I don't think they are going to trade for them, but I'm highlighting them as some pretty good rebounders that don't get a lot of minutes in the NBA, but because they're stuck behind guys like Dayron's stuck behind. He's injured right now, but he's stuck behind Nick Claxton. Yeah, Isaiah, like Miles Turner's getting all of the minutes. And Isaiah Jackson was behind like two other guys in the rotation. Like they play Obi Toppin a lot. They played Jalen Smith, is that his name? The one with the glasses?
Yeah.
They were playing him a lot last year. But when Isaiah Jackson played, bro, because I was waiver wiring him whenever he was starting or whenever Jalen Smith and Obi Toppin were injured. And he was literally he was demolishing everyone, bro. But waiver wiring is a hard thing to say. But I just think there are a lot of decent centers out there, bro. Dwight's literally begging Genie Bus for a contract. If you're the Pelicans, bro, why wouldn't you roll the dice on Dwight Howard? Like, it's Dwight Howard, bro. Like,
you get him for peanuts,
he would literally take a minimum to play NBA minutes again. And he's got his body right, bro. Like, this guy was eating candy and lollies and McDonald's and, before every game, and he was an all-star. Like, now he's actually got his body right and he's eating properly and stuff. Why not give him a crack, bro?
Take a chance. Just to get back
you need a center, bro. No one would blame you for taking a chance on Dwight Howard. 100%. Nobody would blame you for JaVale McGee even, bro.
Get
I think he retired.
Publicity out of it as well.
Yeah.
Get in the media, get in the headlines.
Dude, it's not. It'd be good to have him back on a roster. And, like, he'd fit in well with that team, bro. And he'd be good. He'd be a good mentor for guys like Zion. You know what I mean? Like, he was at that sort of area where Zion is now. Yeah, he was better than Zion. So, and he was mad athletic at the time. He's similar career progression, man. Yeah. Different positions, but...
Do you reckon Zion just needs to cop it and just move to center?
He's too short for center, bro. True. And he's stumped. He's strong enough to play center. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think people are fearing Zion Williamson when they're going to the rim. Unless he's... Like, he gets a mad block from time to time, but, like, if he's got his hands up, he's just not going to bother guys like... that are a bit taller than him going to the rim. Like, you want someone that...
You want a bit of rim protection.
But I'm not saying he can't. Again, Draymond is able to, like, be a rim protector at that height. You know what I mean? Even PJ was all right in the middle. There were games where PJ did a good job on Anthony Davis. Yeah. But I just don't think Zion has that skill set and knowledge yet.
Yeah, that's
got to be smart defensively. Zion takes plays off defensively, like just mentally has those defensive lapses. You can't do that from center. Yeah. Because it looks so much worse when you're not aware of a guy making a backdoor cut or a guy just breezes past you. Like, I've seen him make a lot of defensive errors, and I just don't think he would suit that position. Yeah. But I low-key think they are going to I actually think he's going to be the center.
Yeah, okay.
I actually think on defense he's going to be the center. I don't know what they're going to do. Nobody even knows what their starting lineup's going to be. There are people saying CJ McCollum's going to be coming off the bench. The possibilities are endless with this team. They have a lot of long guys on the roster, but I'm keen to see what they do because I think if they play these cards right, they can be a real problem in the West.
They've
Because,
shown potential.
dude, they have. And, like, if Zion was healthy, like, they're winning.
Yep.
I think they're going to maybe not beat OKC, but they would have given them a lot more trouble.
I
Because they were
agree.
giving them close games without Zion. And Zion is by far their best player.
Yeah, easily.
So I think if Zion was there, it would have changed everything. Especially last year when they didn't really have a center. Like, they had Chet Holmgren, and that's it. So
All right, boys, standouts, letdowns, man. The preseason not over yet, but we've been able to see, what people are made of. What do you reckon? We should start with the East or West first?
let's go to the East because I want to. I'm going to quote Kenny for real. Quote Kenny for real here. I'm buying all the Charlotte Hornets stocks, bro. I don't think they're going to be in the Cooper Flag race. New coach playing a way faster style of basketball with teammates that are all like players that are all bought in to this fast pace, and they got the right guy with the keys, bro, who's just been waiting for a system that's going to benefit his skill set and waiting for some health. And I'm telling you, if LaMelo Ball does not cop a big injury this year, they might be sniffing at least a play-in spot. I'm not saying they're going to win the Eastern Conference, bro, but like there are going to be a few teams that I think will be tanking to get into the race. So for old mate Cooper Flag, but I don't think the Hornets will be one of them. And I wouldn't want to verse the Hornets, in the play-in. They just seem to be a really, really good team, and they're shooting the lights out, and they played really well this preseason.
Yeah.
So they're my Eastern Conference preseason standouts. Like among the Celtics, I think the Celtics are just blowing teams out with like their bench unit, bro.
Charlotte really impressed me. Obviously, they played the Knicks in the Knicks' first preseason game. I'm sure it was their first as well. And yeah, just the style of basketball they were playing. They almost caught the Knicks off guard at like how fast it was. And I remember watching that game being like, oh, Fred would be licking his lips at this because you've got LaMelo Ball.
And in what round, guys? In what round? The third round of our 12-team league. So,
and like he was literally shooting lights out. Like he was unstoppable.
You should have seen what he did to the Heat, bro. I know it's preseason, and I know his jump shot looks so weird. Like he literally does not jump.
Yeah.
But what does Eric Collins say every time? LaMelo! My mate goes for the Heat, Lonnie, as we all know him.
Yeah.
Well, after that, I watched that game. I called him, and I just kept yelling. He's driving. They kept yelling, LaMelo! What are you saying? LaMelo!
I'm so glad that is back, bro.
It's Eric Collins, bro. He's the great. Like, I just want to watch the Hornets because of him, let alone the players. And after about the fourth time, he was, oh, fucking LaMelo Ball.
But no, yeah, he was balling out. I actually have a LaMelo Ball jersey, Illawarra Hawks.
I never went to watch him. I'm still pissed off, but.
Yeah,
I like what they're doing. And
just the style of basketball, like as you said, it's just so
stay
fast.
healthy. Him and Mark Williams, and
that's the key. It's a key for so many teams.
I know. Just stay healthy.
What are you, Flax? Which was the same?
Look, mine was going to be Charlotte Hornets, but you've missed a key player there, man.
Brandon
Miller, bro.
I was going to say Trey Mann, but it's what we expected from Brandon Miller and Mikal Bridges.
He's coming out of the fucking woodwork. I tell you,
he's mad, bro. He's looking like
so good.
You can tell his favorite player is Paul George. He said it on the podcast. His favorite player is Paul George. That's like his idol. Well, he plays like it without the hyperextended knee, but he plays like it. And shout out to Trey Mann, bro. He's looking like Allen Iverson with the haircut, with the play style. It's like I saw an edit that's like, when they do the Kobe and MJ edits where they're like side by side. They're doing that with Trey Mann and Allen Iverson. And shout out to Trey Mann. He came in absolutely clutch for me at the end of last season in fantasy. So love that man.
Look, with the Charlotte Hornets, just before, is yours? Let's go with yours first. And then
I did mine. I was back in Charlotte.
You're back in Charlotte? Okay.
Coattailing Fred.
Where do we think they finish? Obviously, look, it's preseason. It's preseason.
It is preseason.
It is preseason. So, where do we think? Do we think they're a playing team, or do we think they're a few years away?
Nah, I think that if like this year, if they stay healthy, I think they can get a big boost in wins and finish in the play-in. I think 10th or 9th is probably where I think they finish. But yeah, I'm actually banking on that.
All right. I don't want to just sit around agreeing with Fred, but I agree. I think the key is if they stay healthy, if they can keep this style of basketball for the full season.
Screw you
I see him in the middle of the play-in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see him at the top, but I think 8th or 9th. Yeah.
9th, yeah.
East biggest letdown before we move to the West?
Biggest letdown.
Biggest letdown of the
God,
East.
I don't even know, eh? Like because the
neither.
letdowns are like, they let me like I expected them to be letdowns. I'm gonna go Cole Kuzma, bro. Stop airballing shots, bro. I traded you. I traded for you.
Yeah.
I expected the similar numbers from last year, and this bloke is airballing 4 threes in a preseason.
That Washington team's just cool.
He snapped Ben Simmons though.
Yeah, he did.
Snap
Not many
Ben
people.
Simmons.
Bro,
Bro, it's like James Harden when he does that like
like
little wiggle
snapping
and then he
it.
misses the ball,
It's
bro.
like, man, it's like snapping a guy that can barely walk, bro. I feel bad.
true,
Like
it's
I felt he could. I think he missed it just because he felt bad for Ben Simmons. I'd rather him have missed it for that reason. So at least I don't think he actually missed an open three ball.
But he's done that 4 or 5 times this preseason. Like,
Yeah.
what is in store for us in the regular season? Because he's just been terrible, man.
Hey, it's only preseason.
It's only preseason. You know what? He could come out be MVP, most improved.
No.
You know, but I think they're bottom. I think that Washington. I think they're one of, if not the worst team in the East.
Yeah, they are.
I think the Nets, bro. I think the Nets are worse because they're like.
Yeah, but at least you have Cam Thomas who actually can actually shoot.
Yeah, but I think Jordan Poole's going to do better this year playing point guard. They got Malcolm Brogdon, then they got Jonas Valanciunas. Like, Valanciunas is going to kill a lot of teams, bro. I think but they don't want to win. Why would you want to win when the prize for not winning could potentially be capture the flag, Cooper flag, bro? Because he looks like a sure thing. He looks like an actual sure thing that's not like Wemby. Where like, you know what I mean? He looks like the next Larry, bro.
Really?
He gives me those vibes, man.
I haven't seen anything for the next season, but I didn't. Capture the flag.
Capture the flag.
I like that, bro.
That's good. That's good. That is
Capture
good.
the flag, bro. CTF,
The
bro.
content makes itself, doesn't
Oh,
it?
yeah. Capture the flag.
All right, West. We all went through. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with I like the
Happy
like
with Washington being your letdown.
they're my letdown. I think the Raptors too, man. I'm not getting good vibes from them, bro.
There's nothing really there, is there?
Yeah, like they're just
RJ.
like I just think they thought they would have done better in the preseason.
Yeah.
It is just preseason though.
Yeah,
is
well, IQ's a good player, man. RJ,
is.
you know, it's basically like watching the baby Knicks.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knicks rejects.
Yeah.
It's a reject shopper for the Knicks.
Yeah,
All right, Western Conference boys. Who's your standouts?
For me, Anthony Edwards. It's like a bit obvious because obviously we know how good he is, but he shot. He almost played too good for a preseason game.
It felt like he was playing
30.
a finals game. Like he was
that's
do or die
it.
play-in game, ready for it.
I felt like I was just screaming I was watching on my laptop because this was against the Knicks. I was screaming, brother, this is not the playoffs. This is NBA preseason.
Calm
Relax.
down. Calm down.
Please stop. Like, he was unstoppable. He caught 5. I think he hit like 8 threes or something. I'm like, bro, it's just preseason. Let's just take a chill pill. You don't have to torch us like that. Sucked in, you lost still. But yeah, no, I thought that was a nice little standout. But as like it is, you know, half expected for Anthony Edwards. But I just think in the context of NBA preseason, why are you doing that? So that's why he's my standout.
What about yourself for the West?
For the West, it's hard because a lot of them are playing like compromised lineups. But especially the Western teams. But I'm gonna go to the Houston Rockets, bro. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from them. It's looking like the pieces they were missing last year were Reed Shepherd and Steven Adams. Like they've really filled in the voids that the team had last year. I think Steven Adams is going to be such a good player to have around. I think he's going to be such a good backup for Şengün, and he's also a really good passer as well. So they can run a lot of the sets they run for Alfie and with Steven. And Reed just looks like he's got that dog in him. I'm thinking he might win Rookie of the Year. But there's another standout. I think Zach Edey, bro, and he's just killing it, man. He killed it today, especially. And I'm like, look, a lot of people thought he wouldn't translate into the NBA, but I don't see it. Like I see him working out. I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't draft him because he went pretty late in our fantasy.
He did.
And he's gonna play like, dude. If you kept up with the Grizzlies, bro, they've needed a center for like since they let go of Steven Adams, they've not been able to have a
before
center.
they let him know, he was on the bench for half of it because he was injured. So.
Yeah, and they've just needed a center, and this guy's gonna play some big minutes, and if he can stay healthy, he could be a very valuable contributor for them because he's just so big at the end of the day.
Look, I think the Grizzlies are up there. I spoke to Lawrence. You know, he thinks they can take him out, like take out the championship. Like
Nah.
I
but
wouldn't go that
for
far.
me, I'm gonna go the Nuggets. man. Have you seen Russell Westbrook play? Like, he's been shooting threes. He's doing stuff that he couldn't do with the Clippers. But
yeah, well, he was doing that, and then you traded for another point guard.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Because Russell Westbrook was doing a good job at point guard before you replaced him with James Harden.
We have a great organization.
And then all of a sudden, although James did all right, their just chemistry was not there. And now they're in the Denver Nuggets are doing something that you didn't do, and that's put their trust in Russell Westbrook to play the role that they intend him to play, and I feel like he's going to do a very good job. And people do not speak about how good of a defender he has become with the much lesser offensive load. He's now been able to shift his focus to defense, and with the athletic tools that he has, with the strength that he has, with the 99 full try hard, 99 hustle, he's a really good on-ball defender, bro.
Bro, and get him up in that Denver air, bro. And get
He's
him
made for
acclimatized to it, bro.
He doesn't get tired. He's made for that Denver air.
Yeah.
And he's gonna do a very good job for them, and that's a great move for them, bro.
So yeah,
and Jokic never. They said that Jokic never requested they sign a player ever or trade for a player ever, but he requested to get Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So
That's big.
Man, he loves something other than his horses. That's insane.
Yeah,
That
he's
is
gonna name a
weird.
horse after Russell Westbrook, bro.
If he doesn't already.
Yeah.
So yeah, and now letdowns, man. I'm gonna start first. You know, we brought up Lonnie before. You know who's Lonnie? Bronny James Jr., bro. He sucks, bro. They've got him playing the opening game. I've already said put your house on the fucking opposition team because the Lakers are not going to win that game.
Bro, it's not even a letdown in the sense that, like, he was never good.
He was never good, but like...
It's just a letdown that we spent a 55th pick on this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it is a letdown, but
you never know
not good.
who. Like, they could have actually been a good player that we could have picked him. But it's the fact that he's stealing. I think the way I see it, he's stealing a spot away from a player that actually deserves it.
Yeah.
That is better than Bronny. And he's just on the roster. And it seems like a meaningless 55th pick, but they're picking a guy that is literally not ready for the NBA.
Yeah.
Now, and he won't be ready in 5-10 years. Because he's not like he's got the physical tools.
Yeah.
Like, he's just got, you know what he's got? The willingness. He's got the effort. He's got the hustle. He's trying hard. But the IQ, the worst thing, it's even worse than his shooting, is his basketball IQ. His dad is arguably one of, let's say, top 5 highest IQ players ever.
Yeah.
And this guy did not get any of that.
Surely his brothers are smart,
it's so easy to watch him play and see what he's doing wrong. I don't know how he doesn't see it. He does not know how to run a pick and roll. He will not attack the space that teams give it to him. Like, the teams will literally give him space, and he will do exactly what the other team needs him to do in order for them to get back and actually defend the play.
Yeah.
And his finishing is terrible. His shooting is terrible. His defense, when he's just focused on the ball, is his best asset. Like, he's actually a good on ball. I'm not gonna say very good, but for a guy that's 6'2", he's a good on ball defender. But then as soon as that guy passes the ball away and he's defending off ball, he's brain dead.
Yeah.
And they got to teach him this, and I think he can be a positive defender for this team, but not right now. They literally got to take him to school, bro. They got to watch him through film. That guy better be in film class every bloody day for the next 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's where his game will start to get better, when he starts watching the stuff he's doing wrong. If I had to rank him on a scale from, like, on the League of Legends ranking scale, Iron and Challenger, right? This bloke, he's playing with challengers. He's Iron, bro. He's Iron, the lowest rank of the low.
Look, I know.
We mentioned Lonnie. Lonnie is unironically a better shooter than LeBron James. Because Lonnie...
LeBron James?
Holy!
Whoa.
That is a hot take.
Are we calling him Lonnie now?
Cut that out. LeBron James Jr. Bronny James. He's literally a better shooter because at least Lonnie hit 6 straight threes in a championship game, bro. Semi-final.
Imagine if his name was just John Smith. Is he even in the G League if his name's John Smith?
Bro, he wouldn't. He would have still been in college. I don't even know if he wouldn't be at USC. He'd be at a worse school.
Yeah.
And then he wouldn't even, he'd still be at that worst school.
Yeah.
He would not be in the NBA. But LeBron, they say in life it's all about who you know. And thankfully, Bronny James knows LeBron James personally, and his guy, man, and
They're
because
close. Like
he's just gonna get memed a ton, bro.
Now I saw a clip. It was on like TikTok or Instagram, and it was this guy was just fuming watching a clip of Bronny James. And it was like, this is what every other person does. You learn this in college. You go around.
You're watching the angry coach guy, the angry
I
film
think it was
guy.
that. And then it was like he's meant to go here, and then he passes it here, but then he just steps back, goes for 3, and then offloads the ball.
I've watched him for many years. I've watched it for the last year. I love his content, by the way, but he's picking on Bronny hard here. But he's picking on Bronny because these are literally things that we know in Khan's Hill rec, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we know this shit. And Bronny doesn't. Or maybe I think he does know, because there's no way he doesn't know. But the nerves are getting to him, and the pressure's getting to him.
It's the pressure.
Because I feel like he just doesn't deserve to be there. And I think he can be a contributor, he can be a positive contributor to this team after a few years of development in the G League, where the spotlight is off him, and he can go and learn the NBA basics.
Yeah.
All right.
What about your boys in terms of like your letdowns? Like, what do you?
Well, as a Lakers fan, he has to be my letdown. But I think the West is. I'm not gonna say any team on the West. Like, I guess the Mavericks, and like you could probably say that, but like they're literally not playing Kyrie or Luka, bro. Like, they're not playing their team.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson is not your lead guy, bro. But on this team, he is, because there's no Luka and no Kyrie Irving. Bro, you know what Klay Thompson's going to be doing? He's going to be sitting in corners, and he's going to be running around screens, barely touching the ball.
Yeah, true.
And his shots are going to be 50 times more open than they were in the Warriors last year, because they have this thing where the defense has to, like, they did an NBA GM survey, bro. The player that makes teams make the most adjustments, or they have to prepare for the most. Luka Doncic was 50% of the vote, bro. All right? Because he demands so much from your coaching staff, from your playing group, to just focus on him. And then you got to worry about Kyrie Irving, and then you got to worry about Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford rolling to the basket, and then you've completely forgotten about Klay Thompson.
Yeah,
arguably one of the second best shooter, if at worst third best shooter in NBA history, bro.
Yeah.
All right, and if Klay Thompson gets hot in the playoffs, if Klay Thompson gets hot, period, you're not stopping him.
Yeah.
He is actually like one of the most unstoppable, if not the most unstoppable offensive force when he's hot. Like, if you had to pick every NBA player that's ever played when they're at their hottest, at their peak scoring-wise, Klay Thompson is up there.
Yeah.
If he's not number one, the guy's literally scored 60 points dribbling the ball like 7 times, bro.
Well, what don't we forget about?
When he shot 0-10 in the finals. But they remember your bad moments, but you can't forget when this guy's scorching hot, bro. Nah. He's literally he's unstoppable. 3-point record, most threes in a game, like 37 points in a quarter. Like, this guy, when he's hot, literally sets records.
Yeah.
All right. And I would have loved to have seen him play that fourth quarter when he had 60 after 3 quarters, bro. When he's scorching hot, he's up there with Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? But it's like, there's nothing you can do. But it's whether those moments are going to, that's just if he's hot. But if he doesn't even need to be that he just needs to be consistent.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we jumped on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, by the way, what is it? It's nothing but net. That's the ad. We want a better one, but it's all taken. But at the moment, it's nothing but net. So jump on there, and TikTok as well.
We also made a TikTok, nothing but net pod.
There you go. So jump on there, follow us. But on the Instagram, each week we're going to put up, ask us a question or a discussion, and we're going to pick a couple each week to answer. So that's what we're about to do. We're going to answer a couple. So shout out to those heaps in the comments and on the story, giving us questions. So we really appreciate it, especially one episode in. I was actually like, people are actually asking us stuff. So that was nice.
We started this because we felt like people wanted an Aussie NBA show, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
it's
and people are showing,
And we've wanted to do an Aussie NBA show, and that's why we're here. This is what we enjoy. We watch the game a ton. We play fantasy a lot. All right, I played for my injury. I'm gonna play after my injury. This is what we want to do, and we're just glad to be here, and we're going to be running with this for as long as we can, bro.
Yeah, so let's get into... I'll do 2, I reckon.
Let's do 2.
Let's do 2. So shout out to Noah Campbell, friend of the show. He's gone, will Cam Thomas be an all-star? at the Nets.
I don't think he'll be an all-star, but I do think he's going to average like 25 a game. I drafted him too. So I'm hoping he becomes an
I
all-star.
think he's going to drop 40 a game.
Seventh round, you know what? I said, I'll take the risk, Cam Thomas. I don't think he'll be an all-star because I think there are a lot of people in his position that are probably going to beat him. Already got a lot of guards. Like, so at guard, right, you got Brunson, you got Tyrese Halliburton, you got Tyrese Maxey, and there are Damian Lillard. There's a lot of them, bro. So I don't think he's making the playoffs, but making the all-star team.
All the playoffs.
Because they're in the capture the flag hunt. Yeah. So I'm sorry, man. Maybe in the future.
I'll give you a
maybe if he starts playmaking too.
I don't know if it's a hot take, but I reckon all-star numbers, but not in the all-star. Like, he's going to put up points. He's going to put up points. But I don't see him playing.
I think LaMelo's going to be one of those guys that will make the all-star game. But.
And I feel like as well, like, he's at the Nets, they're going to be garbage, so that doesn't help his case either.
Jay-Z can't help them not be garbage, bro. And he's not even going to rock up. He's going to rock up to the draft, bro.
Come to Madison
the draft next year.
And shout out to Lawrence. Who's more important, Jaylen Brown or Tatum?
I think Tatum is more important. Am I saying that because I just traded for him? Probably. It's funny how I traded for half the NBA.
Bro, this guy's biased as fuck.
No. Pumping up his fantasy team, so everyone else trades with him.
Listen. I'm not trading Jason away, by the way, but. Listen, for the most part, like overall, I think Jason is more important. But in the playoffs, I think Jalen was more important.
Yeah.
But over the course of the last 3-4 years, I think it's fair to say Jason Tatum was the more important player. And I still think he is slightly. Just because all of their roles are reduced. So if you miss one, the other one steps up. But I think Jason, just with his passing, is just that thing that separates it, and he's a bit of a better rebounder. So I'll go with Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I think
he's going to prove a lot of people wrong this year. Hearing all of these people about him being absolutely locked in, and he's fixed his jumper too. His jump shot's looking pretty smooth now. So I'm keen to see. I think he's the most important player on that Celtics team now.
Yeah, I think Jaylen Brown showed what he obviously can do. Like, we knew what he was capable of, but he showed he can be the best player on that team, winning MVP. But I feel like Tatum is I wouldn't even say a level above, but I just think he's a better player, like a more important player. That's what we're talking. We're talking more important. And I feel like Tatum, if you look at it this way, if Tatum's out or if Brown's out, like, which one's worse? And you'd rather Tatum playing than Brown, I feel.
I agree.
But that's not to take away from how good Brown is. Like, he showed that he's very valuable.
The way I kind of do it from NRL terms, it's like Luai and Cleary. You have your main star, but look how one did this year and last year. So I'll agree. Tatum, I think, is the better player overall, but Brown has his moments.
No, I think this is more like Cleary and like Edwards. Like they're both freaking exceptional.
Yeah.
And like Edwards did win a finals MVP over Cleary. So, but I think Jason, just with the rebounding and playmaking, I think that's what separates him a little bit.
Well, guys, that's episode 2. Sorry if it's going to be very cutty and jumpy. We had a few issues. They'll be fixed for next week. From all of us as well, thank you so much for all the support. Like, this is absolutely insane. We uploaded one episode, a TikTok and a few other things, and you guys just went wild for it. So thank you so much from all us boys. So
absolute legends,
just the beginning as well.
Yeah.
Stick with us. We're just going to, improve every week, and hopefully... Yeah.
We weren't expecting it, man. We weren't expecting this much love at the start.
No way.
So it's just great to have such amazing support from you guys, and we hope to keep leveling our show up so that it's a better viewing experience for everybody. And we really want to get you guys involved with the Q&As and in other capacities as well. So shout out to everybody giving us a lot of support.
Especially if you're listening to this right now, it means you've watched till the end as well, or listened to the end. So we appreciate you even more than everyone else.
Say bing bong in the comment section.
Comment bing bong if you got to the end, and we'll know who you are.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. So thanks guys, and we'll catch you next week.
Yo.
Chihoo. No,